We are recording. It is June 7th, 7:18 p.m. We are excuse me, day 7, movie 7 in our vampire movie marathon. We just watched Cronos by the one and only Guillermo Del Toro.
The directorial debut for the one
Yeah.
on director.
Yeah, and yeah, it's good. I really enjoyed it. Uh it's it's just it's like for Guillermo's first film he debuted with. I think it's pretty solid. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's also pretty cool that like his first debut film, and already he's got my boy Ron Perlman in it. It's like, hey Ron, you're gonna be in my films, and then you're gonna be in all like a bunch of other films I do later on. It's like, all right, cool. So,
Ron Perlman originally didn't want to be part of the movie because he was afraid that he had to speak Spanish a lot.
oh,
But it's like, but no, Guillermo, like like uh, comfort him by just saying no, 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 no. It's like you don't have to, like you're gonna have very few lines in Spanish. Don't worry.
you're mostly gonna be speaking in English. So, because when I saw that Ron Perlman was gonna be in the movie, I was like, damn, Ron Perlman knows Spanish. All right. So like, but he spoke mostly English. But but yeah, no, this is overall not that not that bad. It was pretty solid. Like I obviously like for a for a debut film for Guillermo is really is really good. But then like later on like his as he gets more older more experience, like his films get better. Because I like Kronos. I don't know if I say like it's like up there with like my favorite films from Guillermo, but like but still, I think either way though so far like everything I've seen from Guillermo del Toro has not disappointed me at all.
Like, the when you go back to some of the earliest aspects to directors filmography,
Mm.
uh they well, you kind of see uh sort of like you kind of see like something taking shape,
Hmm.
um and like eventually an evolution,
Yeah.
uh with like if you go back and watch like John Carpenter's Dark Star,
Mm.
like it that's a movie that kind of really shows off like how how much like how much like John Carpenter really liked like goofy humor,
Mm.
uh and sometimes that does show up in his movies.
Hmm.
uh with here, like you can instantly kind of just tell like uh how what like how Guillermo's movies will later kind of just evolve into,
Mm.
because like everything is here.
Hmm.
you know it's not as like impressive as like a Hellboy 2
Mm.
or like uh Frankenstein.
Yeah.
But like this movie it feels very much like a dark fairy tale, which is something I've always said of Guillermo
Hmm.
del Toro's work. um it's like he likes a lot of the gothic and a lot of like the dark things,
Hmm.
but there's always a sense of whimsy
Mm.
and like innocence in a way for a lot of his movies.
Mm. Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. So, uh, but so Cronos is his directorial debut, and it is obviously it is kind of a vampire movie. Like they they never outright ever explicitly state like, oh yeah, you're becoming a vampire. But like everything's there. Like yeah, he's you know the main guy, Jesus. He's turning into a vampire. Like uh one thing I will say is like the way like because the way it's treated, like the whole like vampire aspect is more like a slow transformation that's just being built up throughout the movie. It kind of uh it says it kind of reminds me a bit of like The Fly, like especially like Cronenberg's Fly, where like like you see the whole point of the movie is like you're kind of seeing the transformation throughout, and then at the end, like they're, by the end of the movie, they're fully, turned into the monster. Like by the end of this movie, Jesus is practically a vampire, like full on. Like he's got like that the ashy pale white skin. He can't be in sunlight. It hurts him. He like he likes to lap up blood off the bathroom floor, which come on, man. Like if you're gonna drink blood, don't do it off the bathroom floor. Like you don't know what type of shoes or piss or whatever has been on that. Like, come on. Yeah, if, be a vampire with some dignity, man. But but no, like at least for me, that's like the one thing that popped to mind when I was watching the movie. Just like is like at least like like the whole like slowly transforming into the monster throughout the movie until the end. It kind of reminded me a bit of like The Fly from Cronenberg. Uh oh, go ahead.
Guillermo, the thing that Guillermo kind of wanted, like I remember hearing like the director's commentary for this because I do own this
Mm.
with an out of print like 3-pack from the Criterion Collection.
Mm.
Uh, called the Gilia the
Mm-hmm.
um Guillermo Del Toro, and it contains Cronos, the Devil's Backbone, and Pan's Labyrinth. Uh,
Ah, okay.
and what he describes in this, he describes a lot of interesting things in the director's commentary. And one thing he kind of describes is uh, he really kind of wanted to show off, a a Dracula from the perspective of a normal, from a perspective of a normal like middle class guy.
Mm.
Uh because like like there's no big castle, there's
Mm-hmm.
no there's no servants. All he's got is like an addict, like
Mm.
an addict, and like his Renfield is just a little girl.
Mm.
Like, and it's like that, this is and it's like he tells of how it's a really touching story of like um like uh a grandfather who's always been there for his grandchild, uh in a situation where that has to be reversed,
Mm.
where where the grandfather is completely, is completely in a vulnerable state, and now the grandchild has to protect them.
Ah. Okay. Interesting. That's
Good. Oh, go ahead.
no. I was just gonna say that's a interesting like uh mindset, like idea why of what he wants to do with Kronos. Uh, I I I'll be honest. I kind of get where he's coming from. I didn't really see that watching the movie, but 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 it's definitely an interesting idea to explore.
Because like
Mm.
because essentially like what is Renfield's like role in the Dracula movies instead of apart from being crazy and eating bugs, it's
Mm.
that he's Dracula's servant.
Mm-hmm.
He's there to protect the big D, uh, and make sure that he's comfortable by bringing him um, people. Well,
Ah. Okay.
in a sense, like the girl didn't try to find victims for him.
Mm-hmm.
It, she kind of fills that role, where
Mm.
it's just hey, where it's like the this again because it comes from the perspective of here a character who is not super wealthy.
Mm.
They don't got all the resources.
Mm-hmm.
Uh so but yeah, and so like because that's why Jesus
Mm.
he tells that story to the little girl about her father, about how when he was little he heard about lung cancer, and so he
Mm.
uh threw the cigarettes into like the toilet,
Uh-huh.
and he knows like the boy kind of learned that like despite his intentions, that wasn't really going to be effective.
Mm.
And it's a, yeah, it's like that's an aspect to kind of think about.
Okay. Ah.
And and there's another aspect that's kind of interesting is
Mm.
the device, the Cronos machine itself.
Mm.
Uh,
Oh, go.
where
Mm-hmm.
where you like where the Kronos device, where you the Kronos device, the insect inside of it is essentially getting tortured.
Mm.
That's why it's releasing its stinger.
Ah.
Because it's it's constant the when you twist the mech when you twist like the twist and turn on a lot
Uh-huh.
of the mechanisms, it's putting the plug in extreme pain, and so
Mm.
it takes out its stinger in
Mm-hmm.
order to attack, but that's exactly what you want it to do, because once it stings you, that's the key to unlocking immortality. So
Mm.
it is a sense from saying of like the for to chase immortality, it has to come from the suffering of um like it has to come from a suffering from like a bug,
Mm.
like from from an animal.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Oh, okay.
and then you get like the funny aspect of there's this man who kept the billionaire
Mm.
who he's stuck in this sterile room because
Mm-hmm.
he's dying, and his nephew Angel, played by Ron Perlman, is constantly getting him to sign like revisions to his will because he wants to take his fortune after he's gone.
Uh-huh.
But he's like this billionaire. He's stuck in this sterile room. Uh, wants the key to immortality, and he keeps sending his nephew out to go find these statues.
Mm.
It's like it's a funny irony that like this is the guy who wants immortality, a guy who's spending the rest of his time uh cooped up in a room
Mm.
where he's barely interacting with anyone. And like this is the guy who wants to live forever.
Huh.
It's like that's it's a funny idea.
Yeah.
Uh and Guillermo also kind of brought up like sort of an interesting fact where it's like
Mm.
the wife, Jesus' wife,
Mm-hmm.
she teaches like tango.
Mm.
uh and it's like tango is a very very sensual, like very like sensual type of dance.
Uh-huh.
uh it's tied so much to like the idea of youth. So
Mm.
it's like Jesus has barely enough energy to do anything other than just like tend to his shop.
Mm-hmm.
That's why like the little, his granddaughter is always there helping him.
Mm.
Uh, as much as she can because she's still a little girl.
Uh-huh.
Because he barely lacks the energy for a lot of his days.
Mm.
Uh, and so like in order for in order for his wife to get out so much of like the passion and emotion that she still has in life,
Mm-hmm.
she puts it into teaching tango, which is a very
Mm.
like so there's that idea of just like um
Uh-huh.
wanting youthfulness to come out.
Mm. Okay.
It's like it's a very interesting like this is a very interesting vampire story because it's not essentially about how being a vampire kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean you could see it that way, but like it's essentially the tackling vampirism through immortality,
Mm.
just of an old man wanting to find like the energy that he once did.
Uh-huh.
uh and like uh of course you could see like how much the times that he uses the machine is sort of like a drug to him.
Mm.
So it's like, hey, so it's like, there's a high he gets from like a drug that helps him become more active.
Mm.
But like, yeah, like Cronos is not a movie, like you said, Changus. Cronos is not a movie I would say would be my favorite of Guillermo.
Uh-huh.
It's like, yeah, because he's got like a long filmography just filled with
Yeah.
bangers. But it's a movie that I can certainly keep going back to, and I just like it's just something that kind of always tells me like the reason I love Guillermo del Toro so much is because uh, even in his old age, he still keeps like oddly enough he still keeps himself young just by like uh not being cynical
Mm.
and but just finding something beautiful, like because that's also the point of stories like Pinocchio
Mm-hmm.
and because like you see that in Pinocchio and Frankenstein, where
Yeah.
those are two characters who are immortal.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of going through like the immortal's burden, where they're sad that the people around them have died,
Mm-hmm.
it portrayed in happiness. Like, yeah, they've passed away, but like, uh, I'm I'm carrying the love they gave to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, uh, yeah, like it's Guillermo really likes. It's something I noticed. A lot of like Guillermo's movies really likes to he really likes the stories that like involves like I don't know, like the idea of like like very like I guess love, I guess in a sense, like just love in general in all sorts. Like it's like a strong like aspect of like a lot of his stories. Whereas like the love like the love of like either romantic love or like familial love and all that, or just again like the love of that you share with people even though they're gone. He really likes to he really likes making stories around that, like, and like a lot of Guillermo's movies in general like have a very like usually like a strong emotional core. So and you could, and again like you could see, you kind of see that even here in like Chronos, that like is gonna get these kind of stories is just gonna get better as he goes on making more films after this. Uh, what was that? I guess I do want to also mention that like for his first film, uh, even his first film, like especially with like the device that Jesus uses to, give himself immortality and all that. Like it is kind of interesting how even back then, like in his first film, Guillermo really likes toying around with like how do I put it, like I guess like that like gear, like mechanical nature, in
Clockwork.
a clockwork. Yeah, like he really likes
Clockwork.
clockwork. Uh, but also like I think but also like Guillermo really likes the an idea of like toying around like just like mechanical things in nature and how that in turn uh like the how that in turn like like trans I guess like uh the mechanical nature is relationship with like I guess like just life in general. Like I don't know how to put it. I sound like I sound like a fucking pretentious art student right now saying all this, but like uh but like
I know
it's
where you're coming. I know
yeah.
you're talking. You're talking about like how like because this bug who's had very magical properties to it,
Hmm.
and it's like it's encased in this clockwork device that is again constantly torturing it.
Hmm.
You look at it and you think that it's like, oh, this is a really disgusting bug, but it's like like
You end up
even
being it.
exactly
Mm.
exactly.
Yeah. Uh but also like a lot of Guillermo's like horror stuff as well also then goes on to still play around with like like mechanical things, devices, and their nature and how it relates to like certain aspects of the story. Like it is interesting. I feel like Frankenstein, like it almost feels like Frankenstein in the sense is like a like the perfect like like natural, not conclusion obviously, because I doubt Guillermo's done with making his making movies. He's I'm sure he's got like, I'm sure even he has like many more stories he's got in the tank. But like Frankenstein feels like such like a good like evolution of like of his ideas, like mechanics and how that relates. Like how because like Guillermo's, I think it's also just like Guillermo's got very like he, there's he's got like a, like how do I put it? There's an aesthetic he really likes, and it translates really, and like it translates to like all a lot of his films, like like his Frankenstein movie, right? Like which is really good. How like the way he goes about creating creating the Frankenstein monsters through like this these huge mechanical devices, lots of like gears and and everything, just all working together to put together this this creature. And you can kind of see that like I don't know, it's just something I know. It's like he really likes playing around with like mechanics and how that and and it's like it all goes back to even here, like in this first film, like Cronos, like how do you become a vampire through this weird clockwork mechanical bug torture device thing. That's how you become a vampire. It's like, and is oh is really cool. That's all I'm saying. That's point is mechanics are cool. Uh, he really, he really likes that aesthetic. Like even like something like a Pacific Rim, right? Like with something like Pacific Rim, like oh big giant robots, right? But like, even then, like he really you could tell like in that movie, like he really loves like just like the mechanical nature of these robots. Like you see like close ups of these how the gears and pistons and these giant Jaegers work, and how it all like how like he like I remember like the behind the scenes like sets like from videos where like they built a whole big like set where the actors would like be in the cockpit of the Jaeger, and like each step they take would like work actual like gears and pistons and pulleys in the set to showcase the robot moving is really cool. So thanks, Gundam, or just Japanese mecha anime in general, since that was like a big influence for him. Uh, but yeah. So, but overall though, like I enjoyed Kronos. It's a nice solid film. Again, it's not like my favorite film that Guillermo's done, but I think like again for his first directorial debut, like
Mhm.
yeah, it was not bad. I liked it.
You can tell with the first movie he really enjoys his sympathetic monsters.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. That's right. He really likes the sympathetic monster. Is and like the for like, and I guess I like that go also goes back to like what you were saying now about how like you want like like a modern day like middle class Dracula. Like that's a very great way of like making you sympathize with the monster. Like oh he's kind of the he's kind of relatable. He's an old man in like just middle class. So yeah uh and again like that's just gonna go on, right? That's he's just gonna keep developing on these until you get something again like Frankenstein, which is like I think at the moment is like the perfect like evolution of like a lot of his craft. So I just really like Guillermo del Toro. I think he's a
Oh yeah.
I think he's a neat director and filmmaker, and honestly, I would love to see just I can't like I because again I'm no Guillermo's got more he wants to cook up in his mind, so I'm excited for whatever Guillermo's got next. But like, but again, for his watching his first ever film, that yeah that was a nice experience. I really liked it. So, but so yeah. So that said though, this is this won't be the only Guillermo del Toro movie we watched this month. In fact, just wait like I think like
A couple days.
yeah like a couple
Couple days,
days. Just wait a couple days, and then we're gonna get to see Guillermo del Toro again. So yeah, that should be fun. So, but tomorrow though we get to finally see Triple Dong Wesley Snipes. Hey, that wasn't Double Dong Denzel. That was only Triple Dong Wesley
Triple
Snipes.
Dong Wesley Snipes.
So, but yeah, Blade tomorrow. I love Blade. I love the Blade movies. They're great. So, look forward to Blade.